e.l.f. have just announced that they are raising their prices, so I thought it would be a great opportunity to share with you which e.l.f. products I think are worth your money and which ones are not. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Carmel, and in today's video I'm sharing with you a little bit of a buy this, not that e.l.f. edition, and hopefully this will help you in choosing which e.l.f. products are best for you. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, then please do keep on watching. Just a little disclaimer before we get started. These are just my opinions. This is just what's worked for me and what hasn't. And do you know what? Most e.l.f. products I absolutely love. I am a massive fan of the brand, and I can confidently say that I've tried the majority of their products. So I feel like I'm in a good position to kind of guide you as to what I think is really worth your money, because e.l.f. used to be known as the brand that we used to buy makeup for £1 from. Yeah, £1. They are kind of catching up with the rest of the drugstore and their price increases, so we need to be a little bit more mindful as to what we are purchasing. So hopefully this video will help you today. So let's kick off with eyeshadow. I feel like this is actually e.l.f.'s weakest category, just my opinion. In relation to their eyeshadow palettes, I have a good few of them and they never really impress me that much. They are absolutely fine. I think the best one I've ever tried is their most recent one. This is the Keep It Ethereal palette. They have quite a few options of the Perfect 10 eyeshadows. And just as I was trying to swatch the Rose Gold palette, I was getting so much fallout. There was so much dustiness in the pan. Some of the shimmers are actually really, really lovely. I think it's the mattes that I have the main problem with, which is a real shame. Do you know what? They're fine. They just don't leave an impression on me. I find them a little bit dusty. I find them a little bit hard to blend out. I do just want to note that I do prefer the little mini bite-sized palettes from e.l.f. This is the shade Pumpkin Pie. Immediately you can see that it definitely has more pigment and payoff than the 10 pan eyeshadows. I just think that they have better within their range. So in terms of their powder eyeshadows, I actually really do like their latest release, the Finest Fleck glitter eyeshadows. I do have all of these and I have a dedicated review to them, and it's what I have on my eyes today. This is Straight Fire that I have on my eyes today, and I think it's really lovely. Now, people did say that the Finest Fleck were a dupe for the Urban Decay. I actually prefer the e.l.f. I prefer the e.l.f. Finest Fleck because they have a little bit more coverage. I mean, I've got Space Cowboy hair and it's fine. The e.l.f. just give me a touch more coverage than what this does, a little bit more pigment. I just never reach for this, but I would definitely reach for the e.l.f. and the Finest Fleck are a fraction of the price of the Urban Decay. These work really, really beautifully, especially with the e.l.f. Lock It Down eyeshadow primer. I have to say, absolutely great. So I think if I was to pick a powder eyeshadow from e.l.f., I would be more inclined to pick the Finest Fleck eyeshadows instead of the palettes. However, that doesn't help people who don't like to wear shimmer or can't wear shimmer or glittery eyeshadows for one reason or another. e.l.f. do have a couple of underrated eyeshadow products. The first one would be the No Budge eyeshadow sticks. These are really, really nice, and they are exactly what they say they're going to be. They are No Budge shadow sticks. This is one of their most subtle ones, and I just love this for an everyday look, but it's really lovely, and I know they do these in matte as well, but I never really hear people talking about these. These are the liquid metallic eyeshadows from e.l.f. and these are really, really amazing. I always take these with me when I go on holiday, when I go on vacation. So that's the liquid shadow in the shade Comet. Again, very No Budge, but they are in liquid form, and rather than being shimmery, they are metallic, and they have loads of really good options in both of these. I would definitely go ahead and say go for the Finest Fleck, or go for either the eyeshadow pen or go for the liquid eyeshadows. They are much better options in my opinion. Mascaras now when it comes to e.l.f. and actually I think they do mascaras superbly. The mascara that I'm suggesting that you swap out is still a great mascara, and it is the e.l.f. Lash and Roll. This was my favorite for a really long time, and it is a dupe for the Benefit Roller Lash. And honestly, I used to choose this e.l.f. over the Benefit most of the time. I think there was actually a lawsuit from Benefit against e.l.f. for this dupe, but I think it actually ruled in e.l.f.'s favour, but I don't know too much about that. I'm sure if you Google it, you'll find out. Really nice mascara, gives a really nice natural looking lash and really, really easy to use. However, I don't reach for it anymore because I prefer to use this, which is the Lash Extender Mascara. This is absolutely better than the majority of my high-end mascaras. It's what I've got on my lashes today. This is a tubing mascara. So if you don't know what a tubing mascara is, tubing mascaras are different to regular mascaras in the fact that they have polymers which wrap around each individual lash, and when you remove a mascara like this, you'll see it coming off in kind of tube-like structures. Because they wrap around each individual lash, it helps to keep your lashes in place all day. There's absolutely zero flaking or smudging. I mean, they don't budge at all, and it gives a really beautiful lift. It gives a great curl. The only thing is that it dries down really quickly, so you don't get loads of time to work with it. And in order to remove it, and this is a positive or a negative, you remove it with just warm water. That's all. You don't need a specific cleanser, micellar water. It will just come off with warm water. All tubing mascaras should be the same. This is a phenomenal mascara, one of the best that the drugstore has to offer. So although the Lash and Roll is still really good, it doesn't hold a candle to the Lash Extender. And this is also available in brown if you would like a bit more of a softer lash. The next Buy This Not That is in relation to e.l.f. concealers. The e.l.f. Camo Concealer, not for me. Cannot cope with these at all. I think if I had the under eyes of a 16-year-old, it would look really good on me, but I don't. I have the eyes of an almost 43-year-old. So I'm applying the original Camo Concealer here in the shade Medium Beige. This is described as a full coverage concealer, and it definitely is. So there's a normal version and there's a hydrating version, and actually the hydrating version is worse. It's actually worse on my under eyes. And you can see that it's not even masked my darkness. I think it's heavy. I think it's creasy. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't like it. So instead, in the e.l.f. range, I would say go for the e.l.f. Putty Colour Corrector. This is an eye brightener, so technically not a concealer. However, I know people that just pop this on and walk out the door because it does a great job at neutralizing darkness. So I have the eye brightener in the shade light to medium, and it really is just perfect for my skin tone. So obviously this is not a concealer, and I'm not trying to tell you that it is. However, I feel like it's a great alternative to any under eye products that e.l.f. has to offer. I don't like any of their under eye products, and this is the only one that I would truly, hand on my heart, recommend because I think it's fabulous. This is really emollient. It's perfect for dry under eyes. It definitely neutralizes darkness and under eye veins. And I think it's a fantastic product and really, really underrated actually. It's one of the best color correctors I've ever used. So definitely buy this and not that if you are over 17. Foundations now, and this is one of e.l.f.'s original foundations, the Camo CC Cream. They then did release a Camo Hydrating CC Cream. These are just foundations. The hydrating one is a lot better, but we're not going to be talking about that today. We're just concentrating on this because I think if you are like me, if you are a little bit more mature, if you have drier skin, I don't think you're going to like this. So I have the CC Cream in the shade Light 240, and this contains an SPF of 30. Again, it's a full coverage foundation, but it claims to be natural. It's just too full coverage. This foundation is so thick that I really, really struggle to blend it out. So it just ends up looking patchy. It ends up sitting into areas that I don't want it to sit into. I just don't enjoy it. And they're just too much for me. I don't like full coverage foundations anyway. I guess it's different if you do, but I just didn't find this in any way flattering on my skin. And as you can see, I have not used it despite having it for a lengthy period. So instead of buying these CC creams, by the way, this isn't bad at all. This looked decent on my skin, the hydrating, but it doesn't have a patch on what I'm going to suggest that you get, and that's this. This is the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. This is absolutely not only my favourite drugstore foundation, It's one of my favorite foundations of all time. So my ordinary preference would definitely be a glowy foundation, and this is a satin, so I guess it's somewhere in between glowy and soft matte. I'm applying the shade 25 of the Soft Glam foundation, which is a light neutral shade. This just leaves my skin looking amazing, and it's a foundation that I can trust. So I was at quite a big event on Saturday and I needed my makeup to last from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. and I chose this. I didn't have to top it up during the day. It's so flattering on mature skin. It doesn't settle into lines. It doesn't emphasize texture. When you're dealing with satin and soft matte foundations, you really, really need to be considering your skin prep routine. So making sure that everything is spot on. I mean, if I popped on any foundation, including this one, without prepping my skin first, it would look terrible. But this just gives me a really lovely medium coverage. It's definitely buildable. It allows for my base products to come through so I don't look too satin or too soft matte. It's just perfect. And it would take a lot for this to be knocked off my #1 spot for my #1 drugstore foundation. Next, we're talking contour and bronzer, and I used to use both of these e.l.f. products that I'm suggesting that you switch out. So the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Bronzer, which is super natural. It's really, really pretty. So in this video, I'm applying the Putty Bronzer in the shade Summer Fridays, and I mean, it's the closest to natural that you are ever going to get, to be fair. But for me, I just need a little bit more from my bronzer. I kind of had to work a bit hard to get it to do anything on my skin. And the e.l.f. Halo Glow, these are the contour ones. And do you know what? These are fine. These are great for beginners. And so is this. I think if you're just getting into makeup, just kind of dipping your toe in, or if you have a child that's getting into makeup, I think these are great options because they're really, really not scary and they're really, really straightforward and easy to use. However, I just think e.l.f. have much better out there now. e.l.f. recently released the e.l.f. Contour and Bronzer Duos. Now, I know not everybody likes to use a contour and a bronzer, and honestly, I don't use a contour and a bronzer at the same time. I like to use one product because although bronzer is for warming up the skin and contour is for defining the face, I think that they can cross over. So I'm applying the bronzer and contour in the shade Light, and it's not too warm and it's not too cool. And these e.l.f. Camo liquid bronzers are fantastic. They feel so high-end, it's absolutely ridiculous. And you're just getting so much more for your money than you are with the Putty bronzer or the contour ones, and they're honestly not scary. They look it, and some of them are super, super pigmented, but I promise you, you will be able to apply these. You will be able to blend them out. They are really not as scary as what you think they are. I did find that sometimes the contour could get a little bit grey and a little bit patchy, and I don't find that with these. These are just so smooth. They feel hydrating. They look great on mature skin, and they are a much better option than these two, in my opinion. I just think you get more bang for your buck. e.l.f. also have the Halo Glow in blush form, and I really didn't like this. I've never liked this blush. I find it patchy. I find it unflattering. It's just not great. And I think you know what I'm going to suggest you swap it out with. The e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush. Don't be scared of them. Don't be scared of liquid products. The shade I'm applying of the Camo Liquid Blush here is Suave Mauve. These are so incredibly easy to use. Now, granted, they are super pigmented, so you need to be careful. And even when I was applying this, I applied way too much and I made myself laugh because I've not used them in a little while and I'd forgotten how pigmented they are. But as with any makeup, start little and build up, because it's always easy to add more, but it's not easy to take away. Having said that, when it comes to liquid products, I feel like they are really easy to rescue if you just go back in with your foundation brush and you can soften everything up a little bit. Now, you don't get a lot of product in these. You only get, I think it's 4 ml of product. I can't read it because e.l.f. think that I've got 20/20 vision. e.l.f. drive me insane with how small they print things on their products. Honestly, who can read this? Please, I do not have the eyes of a 10-year-old. So they can be a little bit cheeky in kind of making you think that you're getting a lot of products, but you're not really. But having said that, these will last you forever. You literally need maybe about 2 dots for your face for these, so they will last you for a long, long time. And this shows you how much I like them. I've never been gifted a single e.l.f. product, so I bought these with my own money, but I really, really do love them. I think they're a fantastic liquid blush, they really are. But I did just want to give a little mention to their powder blushes. These are absolutely fantastic. So these are the Primer-Infused matte blushes, and the one that I'm applying here is called Always Crushing. These feel so incredibly high end. I don't ordinarily reach for powder products. I definitely prefer liquid, like the Camo liquid blushes. However, these really did blow me away. They are very flattering. They blend seamlessly with the skin. They're absolutely gorgeous and definitely worth checking out if you don't like liquid products. I'm not the biggest fan of powders anyway, but I really don't like this. It's the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder, and I know this is such a holy grail for so many people. Just for me, on my skin type, my dry skin type, it just doesn't do me any favors. I've got it under my eyes today, and yeah, I just don't think it, I mean, part of my makeup looks good today, part of it looks terrible. I just feel like it accentuates my lines. I don't think it helps with the longevity of my makeup, and I feel like I do get creasing under my eyes. So there's only one other powder from e.l.f. that I like, and it is this one. This is the Halo Glow Powder Filter Pressed Powder. Now, here's the thing with this. It's not actually a setting powder. It is more of a finishing powder. It really reminds me of the Hourglass finishing powders. So I think if you are choosing to use this as a setting powder, you're probably not going to like it. But I tend to just use it in this area, and it just gives me a lovely blurred kind of airbrushed finish. I think it's a really good product, but it's pretty expensive. So I think already it's about 14 euros. Could actually be more than that. So it's a pricey product, but I do think it's very, very high quality. So I guess it depends what you are looking for. I mean, I know that some people find this a little bit reflective because it does have some luminosity to it, but I just would not set my under eyes with this because I don't think it's designed for that. It's designed to be a finishing powder. So the last step in your makeup, just in areas that you kind of feel like you need a little bit of extra filtering, I think this will give you that, but it's definitely not for everybody. However, in terms of my buy this, not that, I would definitely choose this powder over this any day. Lip products now, and glossy lip products. So these are the e.l.f. Pout Clout. They've been out for a while now, and these are kind of supposed to be a lip plumping product, a high shine lip product. So I'm just applying the shade Toasted here. I like these. I think they're really nice. There's nothing wrong with them. I just never reach for them. I can find that sometimes they can get a little bit gloopy, maybe, you know, in the corners of your mouth. I think they are supposed to be a dupe for the Tarte Maracuja lip products. I've never used those. And you know what? I think they're really decent quality, and they don't sting. They don't hurt when you put them on the lips. They smell really nice. I like them. I think they're nice, but I think e.l.f. have better. So I don't like anything that's going to be in any way sticky on my lips. So I would always go for these. These are the new e.l.f. Glow Reviver lip balms, and these are supposed to be a dupe for the Summer Fridays. So I'm just applying my favorite shade of the Glow Reviver here, which is Strawberry Shortcake. And genuinely, when you apply these and you compare them to the Summer Fridays, they look and they feel identical. Now that I've had a lot of time to test these, I think the only difference I found is that I have to reapply these more than I do the Summer Fridays, which I didn't notice at the beginning because I don't feel like lip balms are long lasting anyway. But I do notice that these do disappear a lot quicker than the Summer Fridays do. I don't mind reapplying a lip balm because I don't have the expectation that they will stick around, but it definitely is something that's worth noting. But they have the same kind of staying power as the Pout Clout. Now, if you are not interested in a glossy or a balmy finish, what I have on my lips is the e.l.f. O Face Satin lipsticks. These are brilliant. I mean, I've never hidden my love for these. These are absolutely fantastic lipsticks. I mean, they've always been a little bit pricier, so maybe 10 euros, which means they'll be €11. But I think they are worth it. They definitely could pass for a higher end lipstick. I don't see the difference between this and any other satin lipstick that I found at high end. So I'm currently wearing the shade Dirty Talk, which is just the perfect nude, and it is definitely my favorite out of the bunch. It gives great coverage, it's comfortable, it's not sticky, it's not drying. It's just gorgeous. So yeah, 3 options there for lip products. And while I'm at it, I can't not mention the e.l.f. Cream Glide lip liners. I do have more of these, no idea where I've put them. These are about €2 or €3. Obviously, they're going to be going up now, but still, that is still a steal for these lip liners. They are absolutely fantastic. I don't see the point in buying high-end lip pencils. I mean, I still do, but I don't see the point in it. They are absolutely perfect. They have great staying power. They have great coverage. They are everything that you would need from a lip liner, and for a fraction of anything that you would buy high end. My last swap is a brow product, and and this is the e.l.f. Holy Strokes Microfine Brow Pen. I am a big brow pen fan. I have no brows, and so when one comes out I get a little bit excited, especially at the drugstore. This is not good. Most of the time no product comes out, and when it does come out it's just too barely there, and my non-existent brows need more. Okay, I need more than nothing. And this wasn't actually cheap. Did it cost me €7 or €8, something like that? And I've never really used it because I've never been able to use it. Now, my swap is not a like-for-like swap, but I am going to have to recommend this from e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. Brow Laminating Gel. I use this every single day of my life. I couldn't live without it. It's a fantastic eyebrow product. Now, obviously, it's not going to give you hair-like strokes. So I know it's not a like-for-like, but just in terms of brows, I think if you were just to pick any brow product from e.l.f., this is absolutely perfect. And, you know, this is coming from me who doesn't have any eyebrows. It does give me more fuller looking eyebrows. You know, it allows me to fake it a little bit, keeps your eyebrows in place, and doesn't leave a white cast either. But I had to share this because it is such a holy grail to me. So definitely don't bother with this because it's not great in my opinion, but this deserves all the love. So that's it. They are my main swaps that I would suggest for e.l.f. Now, I know I didn't have some complete like-for-like swaps there, but I'm hoping that in this video it did help you decide which product to choose when you are looking at certain categories. But if you have any suggestions for a swap or a buy this, not that for e.l.f., then do let us know down in the comments. I am thinking about doing this for a few different brands, you know, maybe buy this, not that, or the best and worst of. I would be happy to do that if it's something that you'd be interested in. For high end also, not just for the drugstore. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video. But until then, take care and bye for now.